The dawn broke over a quiet cul-de-sac in Willow Creek, Oregon, on a crisp September morning in 2024, but the peace shattered with a sound that clawed at my heart. A piercing beat sliced through the stillness, the kind that makes your blood run cold. It was 6:15 a.m., and that wail was my daughter Lily's glucose monitor screaming a low blood sugar alert. I was out of bed, feet barely grazing the floor, already sprinting to her room. "Lily," I called, grabbing glucose tablets from the kitchen counter as I ran. At 16, she'd been wrestling type 1 diabetes for nearly a decade, a relentless shadow that didn't care about her dreams or her courage. I found her slumped on her bed, pale as moonlight, hands trembling as she fumbled with her phone. "Dad, I'm at 58, she whispered, voice slurred. Dropping fast, I slid 3 tablets in her palm. "Swallow these. Slow breaths. We got this." She nodded, weak but trusting, her lifeline in those chalky pills. By 6:45, her level stabilized, and she managed a faint smile. "I'm heading to the porch to wait for Mia," she said, grabbing her testing kit. "Still shaky, so I'll keep checking." I kissed her forehead. "Text me if anything feels off." She stepped outside, the sunrise painting her silhouette against our modest front yard. I didn't know it then, but that fragile calm was about to explode. The air was still cool when a voice cut through like a blade. "Get away from my property, you little addict." It was no request, it was a war cry. I froze, coffee mug halfway to my lips, peering out the kitchen window. There was Patricia Hensley, our neighborhood's self-crowned queen, storming across her lawn in a velvet robe and stilettos, her fingers stabbing the air at Lily, who sat quietly on our steps, eyes on her monitor. Patricia, 5 feet 8 inches of righteous fury, didn't stop. "What's in that device? Drugs? Syringes?" she shrieked. I bolted for the door, slamming it open so hard it rattled. "Patricia, back off," I barked, stepping between her and Lily. "My daughter's on our property, minding her business." Patricia sneered, arms crossed. "She's always out here, sneaking around, tapping that phone like she's dealing. I've seen her with needles." My jaw clenched. "Those are insulin pens. She's diabetic. That device keeps her alive." She laughed, cold and sharp. "Diabetic? At her age? She's faking it. I know a junkie when I see one." Lily looked up, voice trembling. "I'm just waiting for my ride." Patricia cut her off. "Save it. I've called child services before, and I'll do it again. This street isn't your rehab." Something snapped inside me. I leaned in, voice low. "Touch my kid, and you'll need more than your HOA badge to save you." She smirked. "We'll see." Then it happened too fast to process. Patricia lunged, her hand cracking across Lily's face with a sickening slap. Lily's head snapped back, her body twisting, hips slamming into the concrete steps. She crumpled, glasses skidding, a trickle of blood blooming from her brow. "Patricia!" I roared, but she didn't flinch, pointing at Lily with twisted triumph. "That's what liars get." I rushed to Lily, her breath shallow, hands fumbling for her glucose tablets. Patricia loomed, eyes wild, and before I could stop her, she raised her heel and smashed Lily's insulin pump. Plastic cracked, tubing snapped, and she crowed, "No more lies." I froze for a heartbeat, then surged forward, grabbing her wrist as she swung for Lily's testing kit. She shrieked, clawing at me, but I twisted her arm back, her stiletto slipping in the dew-soaked grass. "You touch her again," I growled, "and you're done." She spat at my feet. "What? You'll hit me?" Weak men hide behind sick kids. Lily moaned behind me. Her monitor, blaring her sugar, was crashing. "Dad, I can't see," she whispered. Patricia rolled her eyes. Theatrics. Pathetic. I didn't speak. I moved. Like a storm breaking, I grabbed her hair, yanked her off balance, and slammed her against the brick wall by her mailbox. Her breath left in a shocked grunt, nails scraping my arm. "You hit my daughter. You broke her lifeline. You called her a liar." She gasped, blood trickling from her lip. "I was protecting this street." "You assaulted a child," I said, voice ice cold. "I didn't hit her." I pressed her face to the bricks, deliberate, controlled. She collapsed, shrieking, "You're insane," as blood streaked her cheek. Lily whimpered again, her monitor flashing red. I had seconds. Patricia scrambled to stand, but I grabbed her wrist, twisted it, and threw her over the low fence she obsessed over, her body crashing into her prized roses. I followed, yanking my belt off and binding her wrist tight, pinning her face to the mud. "You nearly killed her," I hissed. She trembled, still defiant. "You're the monster." I dialed 911. "This is Judge Daniel Carter. I've detained a suspect who assaulted my daughter, destroyed her medical equipment, and caused a medical emergency. Send police and an ambulance. Now." Lily was barely conscious when I reached her, lips blue, hands shaking. I carried her inside, injected her with a backup insulin pen, whispering, "Hold on, baby." Outside, Patricia's voice rose, ragged. "He attacked me. That girl's faking. Arrest them." Sirens wailed as police and EMTs arrived. Officer Hayes and EMT Lopez rushed to Lily, while Patricia, half freed from the belt, screamed, "They're criminals." Lopez's voice cut through. Her sugar's at 290 and climbing. Another 10 minutes, and she'd be in DKA. "You're lucky she's alive." Patricia scoffed. "It's a con." I stepped forward, voice like stone. "Officers, I'm pressing charges: assault, destruction of medical property, child endangerment, and if Lily doesn't make it, manslaughter." Patricia's eyes widened, fear flickering. 3 months later, the courtroom in downtown Willow Creek hummed with tension. Reporters swarmed, drawn by headlines of a judge's daughter nearly killed by an HOA tyrant. Lily, still healing, stayed home, but her words fueled me. Patricia sat at the defendant's table, defiant, representing herself after firing her lawyer, claiming he was in on the scam. The prosecutor, ADA Emily Voss, laid out the charges: felony assault, child endangerment, destruction of medical equipment. Patricia stood, smirking. "Your Honor, this was a community safety act. That girl's an addict, not diabetic." Voss snapped. "She's been insulin dependent since age 7, documented by specialists." Patricia waved a hand. "I've researched. Diabetics are old and fat, not skinny teens playing victim." The gallery gasped. I stood. "Your Honor," she tore a medical device from my daughter's body, laughed as she bled, and called her a junkie while she fought for her life. Patricia sneered. "Teach your kid not to fake illnesses." Voss played the surveillance footage: Patricia's slap, the pump's destruction, her screams about cleaning the street. The room went silent. Patricia's smirk cracked. Lily entered, steady, her new pump gleaming. Her voice was soft but razor sharp. "I've collapsed, seized, been hospitalized. Diabetes is my fight, but you call me a liar, hit me, broke my pump, and didn't care. You saw me as a flaw to erase." Patricia scoffed. "Rehearsed drama." I stood, teeth gritted. "You broke her body, try to break her spirit, and sit there like you're above us all." The judge, face stern, sentenced Patricia to 3 years in prison, 5 years probation, full restitution, 600 hours at a diabetes charity, and a permanent ban from HOA rolls. She screamed, "This isn't over." "She's faking," as cuffs snapped on. Outside, diabetic teens held signs. "I'm a warrior, not a liar." Headlines blazed. HOA leader jailed for diabetic teens assault. 6 months later, Lily stood before 400 at a Portland Health Summit, her pump visible, her voice unshaken. "Someone called my illness a lie, but diabetes makes us fighters." The crowd roared. At home, a letter waited: Patricia's jagged scrawl. "You're still a fraud. I'll never stop." A note from the charity director confirmed her defiance, mocking patients even in service. But Lily was stronger. Our HOA banned medical harassment, schools updated diabetic protocols, and Lily joined a national advocacy program. Patricia hadn't broken her sheet, forged her. What would you do if someone attacked your child's truth? Should people like Patricia ever hold power again? Can ignorance justify violence? Share your stories, like, subscribe, and hit the bell, because truth doesn't break. It fights back.